Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Kerbal Space Program, and this time I will be trying to get us not only to the moon, but land on it. May not get back. I've been doing a lot of different kinds of tests of different ships, and I'll show you guys what I've got now. Go into the vehicle assembly building, load one up. And we'll go way down this list. I think 6G was the last one I was working on. The 7 just, it didn't go very well. The 6 was my best and most stable design, and most of this lower area hasn't changed much, except if you'll see on the bottom between the last two struts, you'll see like a half tank of fuel. The reason is because I have added you can see landing legs and 2 rockets attached to the lateral wings of the SpaceStar. Basically, this is sort of the best I could do with what I had. The horizontal landing just wasn't going to happen for me. Very unstable. The way I had to do it, I had to put let's see, these structural pylons on, and I guess as you add more and more of them, they get less, they can take less of impact, and it's really tough to kind of avoid those kinds of things. So what I'll go ahead and do is we'll launch, and what I'm hoping is that on this launch it's not going to uncontrollably fall sideways, because seems to randomly happen every so often. So hopefully that's not going to be a part of today's mission. Let's see, we got Bill, Jebediah, and Bob. Hopefully that's good news for us. So I'm going to pop on the SAS, make sure to throttle all the way up, and we'll give it a burn. I would put this to double speed, but what tends to happen is the simulation going at double the rate that it normally goes will cause it to just overturn out of control. So we're going to stage as soon as those rockets run out of fuel, those solid fuel boosters. Okay. Oh no, that's exactly what I was afraid of happening. Okay. And stage again. I guess I'll take this time to show you guys, I guess, the lander. Probably going to crash. Not good. Not good. Very not good. Horrible. Not good at all. Okay, stage. I think I have somewhat saved the craft. But we've lost our engine and most of the control. Okay. Try to land this, and then we'll start again. Ooh. That was a little close. Yeah, that, you can kind of see the other pieces flying around there. I wonder what that is. Oh, okay. We'll restart. But that's exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to the instability. Sometimes it'll get up just fine. Other times it'll be just terrible. So I'll go ahead and I'll run this again. Wait for it to react, because sometimes my game it does this. As soon as it shows like 0 meters a second, we should be fine. Okay, we're good again. Now my heading should be okay. And we'll do this again. There's a lot of wobble, and I have a lot of added stability with those struts, but sometimes it just gets out of control. This one looks a little bit more stable. Yeah, see, this is just kind of what I mean, where some days it wants to fly correctly, other days it doesn't. I am looking to get a bit more of a stable design going, but I don't even want to tell you guys the amount of times I've tried to get this model and other iterations of this model to actually land on the moon. The one I had before had those, you'll see I'll highlight them here, those 4 kind of like stubby ends landing, and the impact tolerance on these rockets is very low. So even if vertically you're going very slow, usually the horizontal is the problem. The landing struts are really weak in this version. I think this is version like 15 point something, but that's really where the problem is, because they very easily snap off. And in order to get them to be lower than that atmospheric engine that I have down there, I had to attach them to the what's it called? This always happens to me. Yeah, the radial decouplers, that's what they're called. And that automatically makes it so that there's less impact tolerance, I think. So far, so good. I'm going to rotate to the 90 degree heading once we get up to about 70,000 meters. That reduces the amount of, I feel like, the downward gravitational pull, so that we're not pulled way out of control. Usually once we get into space, there are no control issues. I've added extra RCS nubs, as you guys probably saw before, but I'll show them again. So there should be a bit more control over the craft at all points. But I've kind of perfected the art of getting to the moon. The problem is the amount of fuel that it consumes, the weight of my craft, and the landing itself. I burn a lot of fuel just trying to slow the ship down. But hopefully that won't be a problem this time. Maybe, for once, me shooting this will yield better results, not worse ones. So let's see. We're about to reach where we want to be. 67, 68, 69, 70K. All right. Turn off SAS and turn on RCS, and we'll start to roll. I like to do this a little bit slower, but sometimes it causes problems. It's not entirely stable, but it should be all right. And I definitely want to get it over to that equator mark. About 10 degrees off where I want to be, but I'll just quickly fix that. 92, 91, 90 degrees. I'll hold it there and burn. Yep, looking good. And I'm wondering if the moon... No, we're probably going to have to orbit a little bit, because it's past where we need to be. There's a little bit of a penalty for having that happen. As far as fuel consumption goes, I think, but I don't think it's too heavy. It's not going to cause any problems getting to the moon. It'll just probably cause issues when we're there and we're landing. And the time warp doesn't affect anything once we're on a, I guess, orbital intercept course with the moon. Gotta wait for this kind of to run out of fuel. Guess I can turn off RCS at this point. Don't really need it. And then once this stage breaks off, it'll probably be fine. Throttle all the way down. Break it off. Keep the throttle down. And a gentle, gentle burn. Okay, burn full power. That's probably the scariest part of all of this, aside from the landing, is separating from the other stage so that it doesn't explode. Okay, the periapsis. I'm gonna throttle down here a good deal, because I really don't want to spend any extra fuel than I need to. Probably I'm gonna go around 70,000. It should be good enough to be out of the atmosphere and prevent orbital decay. And now I just need to wait for the moon to show up. Go ahead like this. Speed things up, and then I'm gonna take a little while to straighten out the craft, because it's gonna start deviating from where I need it to be, heading wise. There we go. It's right there. And we'll go there. Turn on RCS. And right about there. That's good enough. It's close enough. We'll burn. And the apoapsis will probably extend out plenty. This will be fine. I've seen this a lot before. It's increasing at a nice clip, and once it starts going out really far, I can pull back on the throttle. Okay, here we go. I'm going to pull back a bit. It's taking a lot longer than I expected. Really slow. There we go. That's good. That's good. A little bit less. And stop. Okay. We're good. We are good, and we're heading over to the moon. So I will pop us up as far as we can go here. Yeah, it's going to judder a bit. Okay. I'll go up to 1,000 to really speed this up. And I'll slow it down once we switch, right about here. And right about there is good. Target the moon. Okay. Not bad. Go ahead and pop this to about 50 times or so. Should be quick enough. I don't want to risk overshooting because then it's pretty much over. Just about getting there. Let's see. And I'll start the burn here. So what we're going to do is we're going to shoot against the apoapsis in order to create one so that we don't overshoot things. Okay, and starting a burn. Here we go. It's curving around. And awesome. Great. So we'll go ahead and we'll bring that down. The periapsis will go down first now. Once it's in the atmosphere, or rather just through the surface. There we go. Let's increase throttle a bit more. Head back over that, I guess, against the apoapsis in order to zero out horizontal movement. That's the big thing. Sort of killing our horizontal movement. There we go. Kill it. Going really slowly now. And hold it and burn. Burn again. That's what we want it to do. You want to start it heading towards the cap. Correct for this. We have such an incredible height that I don't really think we need to worry too much. It's a little tricky to get a handle on, but we're getting very close to where we want to be. Gentle burn there. And we'll lock it there for now, but it's going to eventually drift a little bit. But now it's just kind of a straight looking drop down to the surface. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this up about 100 times, about as fast as we want to go. Turn off the RCS for now. Oh wait, you can't do that for under acceleration. Now I'll turn it off and we'll go back where we were. It's going to pick up a lot of vertical speed, but we can bleed it off. We have a little bit of fuel on this stage and we have the fuel tanks there, which is about as good as I've gotten it. I don't want to smack too hard into the surface. cut some of that, and cut. Okay. The reason I'm not throwing this up to about 1,000 times speed is I've done that and I've actually crashed through the moon. So about 100 times is the most I'll do. Oh wow. Wow, we are going way too quick. Gotta really slow that down. Which, as you guys might be noticing, is causing a little bit of a deviation for us. Gotta go back over that. Okay, that stage is done. Put down those landing legs. And I'm hoping this works. I don't have a ton of faith because I haven't ever gotten this to work, exceptionally well. But I'm hoping it will. I also always seem to be over this, it starts a hill. I'm not exactly in a crater, so I might have to start working on getting a better landing site because it might be curved a bit. I don't even really need RCS at this point. Yep, we've switched to surface avionics. So, this is probably not a terrible craft if you want to, do some kind of training landings or anything like that, or kind of like maybe a touch and go. But at a certain point, you're going to run really low on fuel, and you probably won't be able to get back. And I think that glowing thing in the distance is possibly another one of my crafts. Let's start slowing this down. Nice and easy. Let's try and zero out some of this. You got to be going really slow in order to land this safely. Like, even I would say 5 meters per second is still really fast. So it's going to be a lot of minute controls here. And I'm really going to try not to worry about the fuel getting back, just doing a landing, and Bill, Bob, and Jeb can be our first trainees to get to the moon. Incredibly stressful right now. Really trying not to let that become a problem. Let's keep you slow. Can't see a shadow. I cannot see a shadow. I don't know what's going on. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, come on, come on. Gently, 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 gently. Oh, do you see that, guys? Can you believe this? Come on, come on, come on. Land safe, land safe. Oh, wow, guys. This is a first. I have never safely landed before. And, I don't know if I'll have enough fuel to get out. But I definitely have landed safely. All parts of my ship are intact. That lander leg that we lost doesn't really matter. I'm going to try and bring out the landing gear. I don't know if this is a foolish idea, but I'm going to do it. Okay, look, it's all done. I'm wondering if I lost a piece of my landing gear down here. I don't think I did. Maybe I didn't have one. Regardless, that might be a problem later on, but I'm going to try to get off this. If we die, we die, but we've managed to get this far. And this is actually farther than I've ever gotten before. Usually, you know, one of these delta wings snaps off. But I guess redundant systems with the actual landing gear is helpful. I'm going to start a burn. Very gentle burn. Turn on some RCS to help control our way out of this. Maybe I'll just go vertical. There we go. I don't know what type of altitude we'll need. But I'd like to shoot for Kerbal if we're going to get a Kerbal rise or anything like that. Because I know that's what you have to do to get off the moon. Kind of looking around for things now. I guess I could actually just shoot straight, because we'll probably get picked up by Kerbal. Kerbal's up there. Maybe I can aim a little bit for it. And pray to whatever deity the Kerbals worship. That we managed to get there. Don't necessarily think we're gonna make it just because our fuel is so low. Yep, I think that was it. Okay, well, Bill, Bob, and Jebediah probably should have left you down there. Because now you'll drift back and land. Oh, I don't know. You'll splat, and it'll be unfortunate. Ooh, look, I can switch over to the debris. Yep. Landing strut, we can watch as... Let's see, where is it? It's not here. I guess we can't see it from here. Go to the Space Center. Tracking station. Suborbital trajectory. And we'll watch our doom. Watch the doom unfold. So like I said, guys, yeah, definitely getting to the moon is possible, but getting back is the problem. We'll go ahead and separate this last stage. Got a good bit of RCS, but I have no way of actually propelling us, I don't think, where we need to go. I can give it a whirl, but I don't think it'll do it. Just not enough force. It does slow us down a little bit. But we will definitely run out of RCS fuel before anything good happens. Suppose I can try to save us. It's H that does that. See if we can slow up that movement. It's working a little bit, but we're going to run out of RCS fuel. So I will end the flight here. No sense letting Bill, Bob, and Jeb become a crater. This is the most immaculate flight result I think I've gotten on a moon mission. Very happy with this one. We'll go back to the vehicle assembly building. So you guys can see this is definitely capable of getting to the moon. If all I was trying to do was get into moon orbit, I could probably get back to Kerbin. The problem is just this last stage, plenty of power to slow it down. It just doesn't have that power to get us back, even into orbit around the moon. I don't think it's possible. I don't know what else I can do. Part of the reason that I added these extra fuel tanks on the bottom was just so that we could have hopes of making it down to the moon and back. But if you guys have any suggestions on ways to add fuel that won't add ridiculous amounts of weight, that's what we'll do. Oh, I guess the last thing I would mention, I probably should have mentioned this way earlier, but I added these nose cones and adapters because it seemed that without them, those out of control blast offs happen more often. So I don't know if it's just a fluke, or if they're adding any significant amount of weight. They're probably adding in total, so that's 0.6, probably about 0.8 extra mass. So I don't know if that's really a big deal, but if it is, I can try and take them off and replace it with something else. But yeah, that'll about do it for this episode. In the next one, I'm going to see, I'll try to make some tweaks and modifications to this, but just wanted to, I guess, show you guys that this was capable of doing more than getting into orbit. So I'll see you next time, guys.